Swallowed star. As the center of a 10 million km area, Swallow Mound City's walls were about 300 m high. It was so long, that one couldn't even see the end in sight. It was almost like an endless black mountain range. And the door of the city was close to 100 m wide and 200 m tall. A group of scaled armored fierce-looking soldiers stood there to collecting the entrance fee. Quick, pay up. You wish to enter without money? You must be looking to die. The group of intimidating soldiers carried either a large blade each or a huge axe, were yelling and shouting occasionally. Young Master Na-ku is here. Hurry and make way, let Master Na-ku enter the city. The intrepid soldiers were incredibly passionate, not even collecting the entrance fee from Na-ku and his team. However, that Thunder Uncle still smiled happily and brandished a black currency, for you and the brothers to have a drink. The leading soldier took it normally, becoming extra friendly. Wine, whether it was made through fruits or grains, consisted of millions of different types of drinks, all under the same name. I wonder what the wine of Blood River World tastes like. Luo Feng revealed a smile. After entering the city, Na-ku said passionately, Big Brother Feng, I'm very familiar with this city. Why not stay at my house for a bit? After a bit of rest, I'll bring you around the city to take a look. Even though this city is huge, there isn't a place I don't know. Yes, Lord Feng. Beside, Thunder Uncle too was all smiles, and behind him the guards all looked on at Luo Feng, not making a sound. To be able to instantly kill the 13 axe. What kind of person was he? In Swallow Mound, there were indeed quite a few powers capable of such a feat. However, for one to single-handedly kill all them, such an absolute warrior was countable by one hand. No need, we'll part here. Luo Feng said. He had already finished reading the details of the Blood River crystal. Part. Na-ku was stunned. Thunder Uncle's expression too was nervous, thinking, this absolute warrior is just leaving. Na-ku nodded, looking at Luo Feng, Big Brother Feng, if I wish to see you in the city, will I be able to? Luo Feng looked at the silver-armored youth before him, smiling, where's the best hotel in Swallow Mound? Flying Cloud Pavilion. The silver-armored youth said. If you wish to find me, then go there. Luo Feng smiled. Na-ku nodded. Let's go, young master, we'll go home. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle said. The matters of this Lord Feng, it's best that we tell the old master. Especially about the Yu family matters, we have to tell him too. I feel that it's probably no small matter. Go, return home. Na-ku brought his guards and swiftly rushed home. Swallow Mound was simply too huge, a city with an area of 1,000 kilometers. Na-ku and his group took close to an hour to get home. Na family, Yu family, they were considered the middle-level families. Organizations like the 13 Acts were the upper powers. Na family mansion. Dressed in a beautiful black robe, the silver-haired man's expression was stunned. He was shocked as he listened to his son Na-ku and Thunder Uncle's story. Extremely powerful, Dad. You didn't see, the leader of the 13 Acts killed that Yuan Ta like killing livestock, just one axe strike and he died. However, the 13 Acts against Big Brother Feng didn't even have any resistance. I only saw 13 silhouettes and 13 blade flashes, the 13 Acts couldn't even react before they died. Yes, old master, young master is speaking the truth. How can that be? The silver-haired middle-aged man Nabu calmed down after a while. To accomplish so much for the Na family business, he was careful and meticulous. This warrior, absolute warrior. Nabu looked on at his own son, where is he? We split after we entered the city. I invited him to stay here with us, but he didn't accept it. However, He said if we wish to see him we can go to Flying Cloud Pavilion. Naku said, his eyes gleamed, Dad, let's go there now. No. Nabu frowned and said softly, this absolute warrior chose to separate it after entering the city. Obviously he doesn't want to get too close to us. You tell me the entire story of how you met him in detail again once more to me. Yes. Naku immediately began his story. The more he listened, the more Nabu's expression relaxed, finally he smiled. Father? Naku looked at his father. Haha, Kiki, you are lucky. Nabu smiled. From what you've said, it seems this mysterious warrior Feng doesn't like to slaughter. If he can avoid it, he wouldn't kill others. And he doesn't like to get too close to anyone, however he has a good impression of you. Otherwise he wouldn't agree to let you go see him. Na-ko replied excitedly, then we should go now. No, Nabu shook his head, you just split and now you want to rush over already. If you meet him right away, he wouldn't appreciate it. No rush, we'll wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll pay a visit to the warrior Feng. Alright, Lei Dong, accompany the young master back. Yes. The tall and sturdy Thunder Uncle brought Na-ko and left, leaving only Nabu in the room. The silver-haired Nabu's eyes gleamed like that of an old fox. He said softly, Feng. You family. What exactly did the Yu family do to even arouse the 13 acts to rob and kill them? Swallow Mound City. Luo Feng wasn't in a rush to head to the hotel. He first took a good walk about the city, finding a random place to eat and drink, and to listen to the customers and their conversations. This way, he was able to understand more about the affairs within the city. Blood River Continent didn't have a sun or moon. In Swallow Mound City, Flying Cloud Pavilion was the most luxurious hotel. It had a diameter of 10 kilometers. This was bigger than some of Earth's county cities. Its interior was beautiful, and it could hold up to 500,000 guests. The crowd flowed in and out daily. With a large amount of people entering and leaving the country every day, the business here was very good. In the lobby of Flying Cloud Pavilion, there were 100 staff members stationed. Room. Luo Feng looked at the little young lady dressed in a black fur dress. We have the ground level, sky level, cloud level, which do you wish to stay in? As for price, the wall there shows it all. The lady smiled and replied. Cloud level. Luo Feng muttered. Cloud level room 2, daily rate of 3 large currency. The lady within smiled. Luo Feng reached and took out a purple currency and threw it on the table. The lady immediately grabbed it and began to work on Luo Feng's reservation. The currency of Blood River World was shaped like little blades. The currency denominations were split into little blade, red, called little currency, middle blade, black, middle currency, large blade, green, large currency, and above that the most expensive purple blade, called treasure currency. One middle currency was worth 1,000 little currency. One large currency was worth 1,000 middle currency. One treasure currency was worth 1,000 large currency. Lord, this way. A handsome youth dressed in staff attire respectfully led the way. Located in front of Luo Feng was a 3-story building with a flower garden and pond. Outside its yard were the words cloud level. Not bad. Luo Feng looked through it properly. After a satisfying nod, he sat in the living room chair and looked at the waiter before him. Whatever orders Lord has and whenever you wish to order them, please go ahead and call us. I'll be serving you for the days you stay in our Flying Cloud Pavilion. The young waiter said respectfully. This is the first time I'm entering Swallow Mound City. I want you to tell me which places here are special, what big figures and powers there are. Luo Feng took out a jade green crystal blade currency. The more detailed your information is, and if I'm satisfied, the better your reward will be. He spoke for 2 whole hours before ending. He did not even take a breath in between. Luo Feng listened and nodded. Very well, you've spoken well. Luo Feng's voice seemed to have some magic, causing the waiter's eyes to seem lifeless and dazed. Here's some reward for you, leave now. The jade green currency landed in his hand. Only at this point did he awake from the daze. In his mind, however, he couldn't remember anything about Luo Feng's questioning from before. One had to know, Luo Feng could already use the slave imprint skill. Hence, against this star traveler punk, it was as easy as sleeping. Thank you Lord, thank you Lord. The waiter grabbed the currency excitedly and left. Luo Feng closed his eyes. In his mind everything the waiter had said before flashed through. His understanding of Swallow Mound City was much clearer now. Pure feather family. Looks like, if anything, this pure feather family would have the highest possibility of having a blood river crystal. Luo Feng muttered. The waiter's explanation was very detailed about the many families within Swallow Mound territory, the various organizations, sects, and so on. These powers were split into different levels, super, high, mid, lower etc. Na family and Yu family, these were mid-level powers. The 13 Axe was considered a high-level power. In the entire Swallow Mound territory, there were 3 superpowers. They were the Rockwind family, the Pure Feather family and the Hule family. The Hule family was a certain savage group, the Rockwind family was the city leader's family and the Pure Feather family was the #1 business family. Blood River crystals, they are extremely valuable. These 3 superpowers have the highest possibility of having them. Luo Feng sat there, tapping on the armrest. As for the highest possibility among these 3, that would undoubtedly be the Rockwind family. The second would be the Pure Feather family. As for the Hule family, they are simply too far away, there's no need to go there. A domain level, domain lord, needed to fuse with 1 blood river crystal to acquire the recognition of the Undying Shrine, gaining the right to become a city leader. Hence. However, he is a domain lord. And I'm only universe level 9. Of course, my domain is itself at level 9 and I am proficient in space and gold origin laws. I have confidence in killing a normal domain lord at level 2 or 3. What I'm afraid of is that he's domain lord level 7 or 8. Luo Feng shook his head. Before finding out the exact details of his enemy, he thought it best not to mess with the city leader first. To be able to control Swallow Mound territory, that city leader wasn't good to mess with. The target then should be Pure Feather family leader. Luo Feng squinted his eyes, gleaming coldly. The second day, early in the morning. Luo Feng's spirit energy spread out through the space ripples. Through these ripples, he could feel the energy levels within 10 kilometers. Na Ku is here. Luo Feng opened his eyes. Na Ku, cloud level room 2. Luo Feng communicated. The Na father and son, after arriving at Flying Cloud Pavilion, were prepared to ask around as to where that mysterious Lord Feng was staying. Within Na Ku's mind, a voice resounded, Na Ku, cloud level room 2. Father, cloud level room 2. Na Ku said softly. How do you know? Nabu looked shocked at his son. Big brother Feng sent the message to me mentally. Na Ku said. Nabu, who listened to this, was utterly shocked. This mysterious Lord Feng was terrifying. Even without meeting them personally and from such a distance, he already came to know that they were there. Let's go. Big brother Feng. Na Ku shouted. Nabu greets Lord Feng. Thank you for saving my son's life. A silver-haired Nabu bowed respectfully. "Come in." Luo Feng smiled. In the living room. Luo Feng and Nabu both sat, Naku stood by his father's side. "Lord Feng, if it weren't for you yesterday, my son would have lost his life." Nabu exclaimed. "Last night, the entire Yu family was uprooted." "Yu family, they too are a family that's deeply rooted here, yet because of that one mistake their entire family business was destroyed. Yesterday, my son was almost dragged into it. Just thinking about it makes me afraid." "Uprooted?" Luo Feng frowned. I just got the most accurate news." Nabu exclaimed and shook his head. The Yu family actually had borrowed a huge sum of money, to get a set of armor from an ancient god ruin. They found the information about this by means of a secret channel. However, it was a pity that their team was destroyed yesterday. According to them, the armor was taken away too. The Yu family has no way to return such a huge sum, much less the interest. Hence, those that lent the money raged and killed the family and stole all their fortune. Even then, they were not satisfied. The ancient god ruins, what kind of place is that? Also, is a piece of armor that important? Luo Feng asked. Lord Feng doesn't know. Nabu was surprised. Big brother Feng, even I've heard of the ancient god ruins. Naku smiled. I only know that's an ancient battlefield, a vast and huge battlefield. Luo Feng said, I'm only curious as to why an armor from that battlefield is so valuable. One of which was the ancient god ruins, it however had very little information. Ancient god ruins, diameter 100 billion kilometers, vast and endless, ancient battlefield. The book didn't explain more. Nabu smiled, the ancient god ruins, most people only know that it's an ancient battlefield. However, me being a businessman, through my special channels, I have come to know of several secret pieces of information. I believe that Lord Feng knows about the outsiders. I do. Luo Feng nodded. The outsiders are extremely strong and powerful. Nabu exclaimed. In theory, any cloud-level warrior can fly out of the 18 levels of clouds, to outer space. However, any warrior that flies out through space would be killed by the outsiders living in the space. We have no way to enter space. However, that's good too, as the outsiders find it hard to descend. Nabu smiled. I heard that every time they descend, they have to pay a huge price too. Luo Feng was shocked. A huge price. This happened very very long ago, in an ancient period. Nabu exclaimed, at that time, the Strong and Blood River continent were like the clouds, much more than now. And at the time, the outsiders descended. The powerful warriors from the outsiders clashed with the undying army from our side and the gods battled there. God battle? Luo Feng blinked. Our Blood River continent had heavy losses, as the ancient undyings all fell. However, even though the sacrifice was huge, we managed to chase the outsiders out. Nabu's eyes gleamed. After that battle, the outsiders never launched another huge invasion like before. And that huge battleground for the undyings back then, became known as the ancient god ruins. Although it's extremely vast, it was indeed a broken piece of ruins. The youth Naku beside stood, his eyes gleaming. Large amounts of undyings forming an army, and god armies fighting each other. This is incredibly shocking. Luo Feng smiled. Ancient god ruins. The ancient god ruins have a large amount of the special weapons and armors from the outsiders. Also, some of the armors from the fallen undyings, even if broken, are still very valuable. Nabu said. And the killing aura in the ruins is extremely heavy. A few warriors who have weaker consciousness that entered would get taken over by the killing aura, and be driven completely mad. However, there are still many that enter the ancient god ruins looking for the treasures left behind by the undying. Also, people with strong killing auras absorb the blood river crystals easier. Hence, a lot of warriors do not care about the dangers within the ruins. Nabu exclaimed, "Anyway, the ancient god ruins is a terrifying place. It's the place that entices the most, and a lot of the strong warriors from our continent flock there." Ah. Luo Feng frowned. Killing aura. Blood river crystal. So, slaughtering is to raise one's killing aura. Luo Feng thought. This blood river crystal, just what kind of treasure is it? Why is it so that the strong one's killing aura is, the easier it is to absorb? Ancient god ruins. If I acquire a few crystals and I am not able to absorb them, I can go there to try it out. Luo Feng thought. Flying Cloud Pavilion, Luo Feng's place. Luo Feng entered the virtual universe. Even though he was currently on a mission, the training mission didn't conflict with his own study of the laws. Yuxiang Mountain, Absolute Beginning Region, Wuka's Villa. Rong Jun, Luo Feng, I heard that you two have begun the training missions. Wuka looked at Luo Feng and Rong Jun. What level did you two choose? Difficult. Rong Jun said. Luo Feng you. Wuka looked at him, Rong Jun too looked over. Dangerous level. Luo Feng said. At that moment, both of them were shocked. Wuka stared wide-eyed, Luo Feng, it's your first mission and you chose dangerous. That's too risky. It is dangerous indeed. In fact, I have a small problem right now. Luo Feng was helpless. Although I'm doing the difficult level, I don't even dare to be careless. Madman, you really are crazy. Rong Jun smiled and shook his head. No problem. Luo Feng shook his head. I have to go. I'm doing something big today, I cannot be distracted. Good luck. Wuka said. Don't go losing your life to the mission. Rong Jun warned. Relax. Luo Feng shook his head and smiled, following which he vanished and left the virtual universe network. Blood River World, Swallow Mound City, Night. After 6 days of serious study and preparation, Luo Feng became a gust of wind and without a sound or trace left Flying Cloud Pavilion. In an instant, he arrived at a luxurious mansion that took up 10 kilometers in area. This was a mansion which was second only to the city leaders. Pure Feather Family. The air shook, a silhouette appeared in mid-air outside the walls of the mansion. Of course it was Luo Feng. Luo Feng didn't wear his black armor today. Instead, he was dressed in a long black robe and stood empty-handed by the wall. Pure Feather Family. Luo Feng smiled. Who? His entire being vanished into the wind, without a trace or sound, entering deep into the luxurious mansion. Pure Feather Mansion took up 10 kilometers in area. It was split into the outer mansion and inner mansion. The outer mansion were for lower or more ordinary members of the family, hence the security around there was more lax. However, it was obvious that the security around the inner mansion was tighter. Shwa. 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 A black-robed man took 3 simple steps. Within the dark vegetation, walls, walkways 3 images appeared, and he had already reached near the inner mansion. The Blood River Crystal mission is one of the dangerous missions. It won't be that easy to acquire it. Luo Feng half squatted below a huge rock. His gaze swept the area and his spirit energy connected with the universe space, feeling the surrounding life energies. The energies within the inner mansion is obviously much stronger. Just the universe levels alone, there are quite a few. To wander in casually was impossible. Be serious, don't look like you are falling asleep. Captain, Who would dare invade the pure feather family mansion? There's no need to be that serious. Not being serious is fine, however you still have to at least put up an act. Otherwise it'll be bad if you are discovered. I am saying this for your own good. A guard team was patrolling the inner mansion, the guards were walking and communicating. Who? Ahead is that useless advisor's living quarters. Luo Feng stuck to the stone pillar in the walkway. Almost like a shadow, his eyes were gazing coldly at the distant quiet quarters. Schwa! Luo Feng resonated with the ripples of the universe space, forming three peculiar arcs and entered the quiet pavilion. Pavilion second level. Dressed in a white robe, a pale skinny man sat at his study desk, thinking about something. Just from his quarters being in the inner mansion and having such a big and quiet pavilion, one could see his status. Yukuchi. A voice resounded. The white-robed man trembled. He turned to look behind him, where stood a black-robed, black-haired man. Master. The white-robed man bowed respectfully, his eyes filled with a burning loyalty. Luo Feng nodded. These past 6 days, in order to get every detail on the pure feather family, he planned carefully and studied from many angles, and did not just rely on the general information he got from the city's systems. He had also used soul control techniques on a few important people within the family to do a proper check. Against this white-robed man, he had only used a technique akin to hypnosis. I want to see your family leader now, are you ready? Luo Feng asked. Please relax, master, I am the trusted aide of the family leader, he has complete trust in me. Even if I wanted to see him late at night, it won't be a problem. The white-robed Yukuchi was extremely confident. You lead the way. Luo Feng said. Yes. The white-robed Yukuchi said respectfully, master only has to follow behind me. Following which, he immediately went downstairs with Luo Feng following him. Creak. After opening the door, Yukuchi brought Luo Feng about publicly. Walking along the walkways, they were extremely silent. Luo Feng could see a guard team in the distance walking over. The leader of the team looked at the white-robed man and smiled, Mr. Yu. Yukuchi nodded indifferently. The guard team didn't even question who was the black-robed man and left. Yukuchi communicated mentally, Master, please relax, because of the occasional important matters, I would have talks with the family leader late at night. I would also occasionally bring people to meet him. Even though I am usually instructed to bring these people, the guards don't know anything. Hence, there's absolutely no problem in me bringing someone along. Luo Feng nodded. They continued. One level after another. The deeper we go, the tighter the security is. Even if I wished to enter here without anyone noticing me, it would be impossible. Luo Feng looked ahead at the vast surroundings. With just a glance, he was able to determine that there were at least 1,000 people patrolling. Obviously, they had already reached the family's core. Open the door. Yukuchi shouted. Yes, Mr. Yu, please wait a moment. Immediately the guards opened the door. Under the surveillance of 1,000 guards, Yukuchi brought Luo Feng into the core of the mansion. Master, this is already the core area of the family. The family leader, the important disciples and a few absolute powers, treasure troves, dojo etc. are all here. Yukuchi communicated. The family leader's living quarters isn't far from here. At last, we've arrived to the front of the palace. Luo Feng carefully examined it. Ahead was a 500 m long and wide ancient wall, and within it was a 9-story high palace. Outside the palace, stood 2 guards. Open the door. Yukuchi said. Who is he? Of the two guards, the one on the left frowned and pointed at Luo Feng. He's someone the leader wants to meet. Yu Kuqi frowned. Hurry and open the door. The leader didn't inform us of meeting anyone late at night today. The left guard continued to carefully analyze Luo Feng. He coldly said, and at this time, the leader has already begun to rest. The leader has long wanted to meet him, however there hasn't been a chance. Today I've managed to bring this lord over, of course I brought him here immediately. The white-robed Yukuchi's expression was serious, ordering, "Are you willing to bear the consequences? Hurry and open the door." Luo Feng frowned, communicated, "What's the matter?" "Master, normally these two don't even bother to stop me. However, they are acting a bit strange today." Yukuchi replied mentally, he was suspicious too. "Why aren't you opening the door?" Yukuchi's expression was ugly, roaring, "What's up with you two?" The two guards' expressions changed. "Ah." The white-robed Yukuchi frowned and communicated to Luo Feng, "Master, the leader is currently with a woman, what do we do?" "Enter." Luo Feng communicated. Under the effects of the soul technique, Yukuchi couldn't reject Luo Feng's order. Looking at the guard, "Go pass the word. The leader meeting this lord is more important than screwing some woman." "Okay." The two guards immediately opened the door and one of them headed in. Luo Feng stood outside and was looking through the open door. "Leader, leader." The guard that went in shouted seriously within the palace. "What's the matter?" An enraged voice resounded. "What's the matter?" A sweet voice resounded. "Family leader, Mr. Yu has brought someone over. He's saying that he's someone you've been wanting to meet." "Leader, will you meet him?" the guard asked. "Mr. Yu has brought someone." Suddenly the large door on the first level of the palace rumbled open. A casually dressed bare-footed tall and sturdy man in a luxurious nightgown looked out, his gaze landing on the black-robed Luo Feng. He immediately began to grow suspicious. Any more and the plot will be revealed. Luo Feng became a blur and rushed into the yard. Shwa! 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 The Pure Feather family leader, his position was incredibly high and mighty. How could he not have personal bodyguards? 300 bodyguards. 9 great shadow guards. There's actually 9 universe levels, a superpower is indeed a superpower. A black-robed Luo Feng had a cold expression on. His eyes were ice-cold as his arms extended. No. The 300 guards and 9 shadow guards, along with the 2 guards at the door stared with fear. However, their strengths weren't enough to control their own weapons. Shwa! With flashes of blades, knives, weapons. 311 heads were sliced off. Fresh blood floated in the darkness of the night. Only 3 people remained alive in the yard. The white-robed Yukuchi stood there stupidly, and the family leader of the Pure Feather family had fear in his eyes. Only Luo Feng's black robe swished, expressionless. Shwa! In one step, Luo Feng had already reached beside the leader and grabbed him by the neck, like grabbing a little chicken. Following that, with just one step, his entire being vanished.